Today's Valentine's Day has made love of God, has reduced love of God to love of flesh. Promiscuous sexuality, illicit sex, and even divorces. Every year, Valentine's Day, USA, it spends 20 billion US dollars. That's US. I think Valentine's Day is the greatest sacrilege in the history of humankind. And why do I say this? Because Valentine's Day was celebrated in the memory and in the honor of Saint Valentine, who was a bishop, a Christian saint. But today, this Valentine's Day has become a symbol of lust, sexual immorality, exploitation of females, and in fact foolishness. Now, how did this happen? Well, to understand this, first we have to understand and know who is Saint Valentine. So if you read any encyclopedia or any authentic history book, or simply go to Wikipedia, Google it, it's plain and simple. Saint Valentine was born in Italy. He was a Christian saint, and at that time there was a king, Claudius, who was a king of Rome, and he was interested in power and expanding his kingdom, as usual, as all kings want. And he wanted to employ all men in his army. But the problem was, it seems that there was a rule: people who were married at that time, they were free to choose whether to go in battle or not. So to avoid that and to recruit everybody in his army for the battle, he banned marriage laws. He banned it. And then what happened? This promoted sexual immorality, promiscuity, and also exploitation of females. People simply became animals, and this bothered Saint Valentine, because he saw this completely against the laws, the principles of Bible, the principles of religion. And he started preaching that, well, you should be married and you should be responsible couples. And why he was preaching this? Because the whole idea was the love between couples was shadow, a resemblance, a semblance of love of God. That's what he understood by reading his Bible and practice of Christianity. And it makes sense, because love of God is love, and love means responsibility. Love is not simply sex. God is responsible for delivering the devotee, and devotee is responsible for upholding the laws of God, for upholding the honor of God in this world. So both are responsible to each other, and that makes love, and that is reflected in marriage. When people are married, couples, how long the pleasure of sex remains? It is for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 6 years, and then it just dwindles, or it is overpowered by love, where each couple, they are responsible to each other. They take care of each others. They take care of children. That is what is love. And that love is a semblance of love of God. That's what Saint Valentine understood. And that is why he was preaching. He was actually marrying youths in the church and convincing them, well, lead a good life. Don't be like animals. Don't just choose one female, another female, third female, and female for boys, it's the same story goes. Lead a responsible, loving life. And he was marrying. He married so many people in the kingdom. And obviously, Claudius got mad and he got Saint Valentine decapitated. And that day, all his followers, whom he married and whom he preached love of God, they started remembering Saint Valentine. And almost like people canonized him that day when he was decapitated. February, this day comes, and they celebrate this day in his remembrance. And that's where the birth of Valentine's Day is. But today, what has happened now? Today, love of God is Valentine's Day. Today's Valentine's Day has made love of God, has reduced love of God to love of flesh. Today's Valentine Day has reduced a responsible, loving marriage to an irresponsible, promiscuous sexuality, illicit sex, and even divorces. Today's Valentine Day have reduced security of females to exploitation of females. And then on Valentine's Day, a boy chooses a girl and girl chooses a boy, and then they have sex, and then the girl becomes pregnant, and the boy is then no longer interested in that female, and the female has to take care of his own of her baby then. This is what is today's Valentine's Day. And last but not the least, today's Valentine Day has reduced wisdom to foolishness. Now you see how much foolishness is this. Every year Valentine's Day, US, it spends 20 billion US dollars. That's US. And then Europe, and then now even India and Eastern countries, entire world is spending billions and trillions of dollars in what? In buying roses, Valentine cards, girls are buying makeup kits, and that's it. They spend billions, trillions of dollars. So is it not foolishness? You can spend the same money in one day, trillions of dollars. WHO and UNESCO are shouting for donations and money so that they can donate blood to sick people and treat sick people, and then poverty and so many issues are there. But then they're spending money in these frivolous activities. Is this not foolishness? And is it not foolishness to actually spend your entire day in flirting with females and flirting with males? That's all you want to do in life? You can spend an entire day maybe in fulfilling your own dreams, your own plans in life, future plans, working on that. Or better than that, you can spend one day in spirituality and understanding meaningful questions in your life, in giving a thought to existential questions of a life. Who am I? Who is God? What is life? These are questions which are worth pursuing, and spend your day in spirituality. This is the foolishness of Valentine's Day. Actually made us forget all these values of life and actually have reduced us almost foolish animals running after sex and flesh. That's all. So my request is, don't fall into this trap of Valentine's Day. Tell others not to celebrate this Valentine's Day, because this day of evil, of sacrilege. So it's not that we don't celebrate Valentine's Day, it's that we don't want any other people to celebrate Valentine's Day, because it harms country, it harms individual lives of people. Thank you. Hare Krishna.